Okay, let's talk about applying for financial aid. This is not a fun exercise. Nobody likes to do it. It is a necessary evil. If we want to give ourselves a chance to get some need-based discounts, and in some cases, even merit-based discounts, we have to at least throw our hat in the ring and go through this tough process that is applying for financial aid. So let's talk about how this works in general. Now, just about every college in the country, and there are very, very few exceptions, if we want to apply for financial aid, we have to do the FAFSA. That's the free application for federal student aid. Every student has to complete and submit these to every college if they want to be considered for financial aid of any variety, of federal aid, institutional aid, etc. So we always have to do the FAFSA, and we have to send it to each of the colleges in which we apply. Now, most schools, as I mentioned earlier, use the federal methodology, and that means by nature, they require the FAFSA only. There are some exceptions there that have their own, what we call institutional financial aid application. So it's in addition to the FAFSA, they have their own school-specific form. But by and large, federal methodology schools, they only require the FAFSA. Now, most IM and CM schools, institutional methodology and consensus methodology schools, in addition to the FAFSA, they require something called the CSS Profile. Now, this is kind of like the FAFSA on steroids, okay? This is several hundred questions, a lot more labor intensive, a lot more invasive. They are going to ask just about everything. In addition to the standard CSS Profile, these colleges that require this form also have the opportunity to ask what are called supplemental questions. So if we apply to 6 schools that require the CSS Profile, that last section that is the supplemental question part of the CSS Profile, we might have another 50 more or 60 more depending on the particular colleges. But again, it's just something that we need to get through. We have to get through this if we want to be considered for the specific colleges need-based financial aid discounts. Lastly, to further complicate matters, there are colleges that I alluded to earlier that have their own institutional forms. Sometimes this is in lieu of the CSS Profile, sometimes it is in addition to the CSS Profile. So there are cases for some colleges that we have to complete and submit 3 different financial aid applications in order to be considered for need-based financial aid. Now, we can live with making some mistakes on the financial aid applications, but what we cannot do is miss deadlines. Deadlines are mission critical in this process if we want to be eligible for the maximum amount of financial aid that our family is entitled to. So we have to be perfect with deadlines. Now, again, it's not a streamlined process. These colleges do not make it easy on us. If we're applying to 8 different colleges, we could have 8 different sets of requirements in terms of application, in terms of deadlines, etc. And the schools typically are not great with that communication, so it is on us as families to be aware of what applications do the colleges that we're applying to require. When do they do? How does this information need to be presented? Now again, the technology is going to take care of a lot of this for you. We're going to tell you, here's what each school is requiring, here's the due date. So you don't have to do a lot of thinking there, but we have to be aware that this information is not going to be communicated very well directly from the colleges. So the onus is on us as families to make sure that we are checking the appropriate boxes at each of the colleges that we are applying to. So again, is applying for financial aid fun? No. But it's something that we got to get through.